FishTrak. And once you purchase your device, we'll have your account set up for you, and we'll email you a temporary password. And you can log in with any browser of your choice and go to lobtrak.app, that's lobtrak.app, and log in with your email and that temporary password we gave you. And the system will ask you to reset your password for you. So once you have your password reset, you're good to go. And you go back to your device, and now you can open up FishTrak. Once you get up to get to your login screen, put in your email and that new password that you got. So when you first log into your FishTrak device, first thing you'll see, you'll be in your season library, and you'll see some first use tips, some hints, things like that. So on here, see, click here to create a new season. You click next, read the next item. And if you've already used the system before, maybe you just restored your data or something like that, and you have this TOR data on, you can go ahead and just click exit if you already know how to use the system. Otherwise, we'll just follow the system through. It says here, your season. Click on the season to open it, start fishing. Click on this little cog on the left-hand side to go into your season settings and preferences. And next, you click over here to delete it. Now you can click exit. We have our open season library, and now we're ready to create our first season. First thing we do after we select create a season, one of our newest releases now, we have multi-species available, and you can choose between either lobster or crab. So we're going to start off with the lobster season. Okay, next. So now we're in our season details. We'll put in our season settings. Species is lobster. Season, we're going to call it 2024. There we go. We'll call it a fall season. And our vessel name is My Boat. I'm just going to throw some numbers in here. I'm from the town of hometown Tignish, so let's be my home port. Correct in there. LFA zone fall be 25 for me. Here we go. 25. The next window is a designator. For myself being in 25, there is no designator, but what that means is if you're in, as an example, 26, you get 26A, 26B, or anything like that. So if you have an A or B designator, you can go ahead and select that next. Otherwise, you just leave it blank. Your fin number, again, I'm just throwing some numbers in here. My fishing area, well, same as our zone. It's more aligned with ELOG stuff, and you'd have to know where your grid is, your grid location. So our season start date, we'll say it's today. We'll say our end date, so we'll go on November 30th. And our license number. Again, I'm just throwing some numbers in. So our next option is ELOG. Are we going to be using ELOG, yes or no? And for the sake of the demo, we're going to say yes. The only difference between yes and no is, well, either you use it or you don't. So when you choose to use the ELOG now, as you'll see in this little warning, it says the beta ELOG is now up, which means it's fully functional. All the features to capture all the data that's required for ELOG is functional. The only thing that isn't functional yet is the submission to DFO. We need to complete our certification process for that. And once we have that, we release it, and you can immediately start using the ELOG feature. So we're going to go ahead and use it just so we can show you how the details work. The next option is insert your ELOG key. So again, once ELOG is up, you would need to go and get that electronic ELOG key and insert it there, and you'd be good to go. Next is catch type. There's a few different options here. First being Canada market, where we have the Canada market species that we fish. So if you're measuring both sizes, so Canada markets, you'd select that one. If you're only counting one size of lobster, and I know that happens in a lot of places, but specifically in LFA 25, where the measure is so close, a lot of places are only measuring one lobster now. So you would want to choose by the lobster going that way. Otherwise, you can choose by the crate, and the crate can be anything. It can be a fish pan, it can be a tray, it can be a bucket, it can be a tub. It doesn't matter. Whatever your crate is, it's just a container system. So if that's how you count your catch, we can do it that way as well. As you select each, you'll see there's an average weight associated with the Canada market now. Once you select the lobster, you'll see that the average weight is 0.94 pounds. You can go ahead and change that if you want. We'll just tap that window. We'll change that to 1.15, which is probably a little closer. Where's my decimal? There we go. There we go. And again, if you choose crate, this is how I was talking about. Right now, we have an average weight of 115 pounds, which to me, that sounds like a log tech, right? If you're fishing in trays, maybe you got 55, 60-pound trays, then that's what you would put in that average weight. So you can track any type of container. Your depth type, feet and fathom. We have meters is coming. Next is bait settings. So this is where you choose any type of bait you may use during the season. It doesn't mean you're using it day one, but something you may use later on. And you'll see that as we get through the system. It'll just give you easy access to any kind of bait you want to record that's on your trawl that day. And for those of you who don't want to record bait, it's up to you, but you have to choose at least one. So we'll pick the Yale wife, also known as Manhattans and Gaspereau, very popular, and we'll throw some haddock on there. So next is your tag settings. So how many tags you have. Should be the same amount as your traps, I assume. We're doing a fall, so we got 250 tags. Next is your traps, which is 250. As I said, should be the same as your tags. Next is your trawl settings. So how many traps per trawl? For me, they're all 6s. Maybe some of you guys have 8s, 10s, 12s. It varies, right? It depends on your season, where you're at, and your fishing style. So if you have 2 or more different sizes of trawls, maybe you got a bunch of 18s and a couple 12s, or I don't know. Choose a number that you have the most of. So if you have more 10s than 12s, then pick 10s. You know what I mean? That way you don't have to switch as often. And next is the seasonal goal, how much you want to catch. We'll just throw in a nice little 30,000 pounds. Also, if you're fishing in a quota system, you can put your quota there so you track your quota daily. Very handy for crab fishing. So next we want to create our season. And the system will only allow you to create a season. The button will only be activated or lit up if you have everything selected for your season. If you're missing anything, you won't be able to create your season. So make sure you got in every detail. So on this next screen, we're in our trip library. We got a couple things on the screen right now. Well, we got our first time tour data, which is telling us this is how we got to create a day sheet. This is how we go checking our landings and report our landings. And then here is where we go our tags, and we'll go exit. We're going to cover all of that anyway. So the next pop-up that I see is warning. Do you want to register your crew now or later? This is your crew manifest. This is a requirement by Transport Canada, right? You need to know who's on board your vessel every day. So we're going to go ahead and add our guys now. So we're going to add a crew member. One thing to note as well is the captain or the registered owner of the FishTrak device, which is also known as the captain, is not a member of the crew manifest. The system already knows that you're on board. So we got our first name. Let's go. Got our first guy. We'll like these names. Mr. Joe Fishman. So first name, last name, phone number is the minimum requirements. You can also add a date of birth or email or certifications. Certifications, if you got first aid or WMIS or the radio course, there's a bunch of them out there. Whatever you have, if you want to record that, log that, you should. You can put that in there. We're going to add this guy. We're going to add one more. All right, so we'll add our member. Now we got our whole crew. We'll go ahead and click next. And our season's created. We're ready to begin our season.